Sometimes things happen that even the biggest skeptics would doubt. If you only heard the story, you'd probably call it fake, because some things you just have to see to believe. Luckily, in today's world, there's always a phone or a security camera rolling. From crazy coincidences to jaw-dropping moments, these are the videos that if they hadn't been filmed, nobody would believe. Hey, before we jump in, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's roll the intro. Argentina was shaken when a prison security camera exposed a scandal that looked more like a soap opera than real life. A judge was caught kissing an inmate behind bars. And not just any inmate, Christian Bustos, a man serving life for murdering a police officer. To make matters worse, just days before this footage leaked, Judge Mariel Suarez had voted in favor of reducing his sentence. Yeah, right, total coincidence. When confronted, she tried to explain it away by saying she was working on a journalistic research project about him for a book. But the excuse didn't fly. The video spread nationwide, public outrage exploded, and she ended up not only losing her position, but nearly facing prison herself. All for a stolen kiss with a convicted killer. Moral of the story, if you're going to risk everything, maybe don't do it in front of a security camera. We've all seen it in movies, the grand romantic gesture where a man sings beneath his lover's window. Inspired, this guy decided to try the same move to win back his ex. But real life isn't a rom-com. As he poured his heart out with song, a new guy casually stepped outside to greet her. Yep, turns out she had already moved on. The poor guy broke down mid-serenade, crying in disbelief, and kept singing through tears like a tragic ballad performer. We'll never know why they broke up. Maybe he messed up, maybe not. But one thing's clear. For her, the chapter was closed, and the book was already in someone else's hands. His friends never saw it coming. This guy was known for being average at pool, if not downright terrible. But during one casual game, he pulled off shots that looked scripted by the billiards gods. First, he hit the ball completely wrong, only for it to ricochet perfectly into the pocket. Everyone laughed it off as luck, until he did it again with an even harder shot. By the second miracle, the table went silent. His buddies accused him of selling his soul for pool skills, joking it had to be a pact with the devil, because there's no way this accidental genius just transformed into a trick shot master overnight. Some people forget to water their plants. Others forget to feed their fish. But one guy found the ultimate lazy hack: build an automatic fish feeder out of junk. With a cheap $2 alarm clock, an empty yogurt container, and a plastic straw, he made a contraption that rotated and dropped food on schedule. A store-bought version would have cost at least $20. We can't confirm if the portion sizes were right or if his fish actually thrived, but the creativity was undeniable. As one commenter said, laziness is the true mother of invention. Dogs have been called man's best friend for centuries, but this farm dog in Brazil took it a step further. Instead of just guarding the yard, he was trained to help with the harvest. In a video that went viral, the pup goes row by row, knocking down stalks of corn with surprising skill. His owner swears he keeps up the routine only if he's paid in prime cuts of beef. Forget hired hands. This four-legged worker puts in a shift, gets fed steak, and probably doesn't complain nearly as much. Mrs. Jiang of Qingdao, China, left home for just 2 days and returned to a literal nursery. From the doorway, she heard chirping, and when she opened the door, her house was crawling with nearly 50 baby chicks. Even stranger, more were still hatching. Turns out she had bought fertilized eggs at the market, a delicacy in the region. Without refrigeration and in the city's sweltering heat, her house turned into an accidental incubator. Of 90 eggs, about 70 hatched. What was supposed to be breakfast became a feathery army. Omelets were officially off the menu. Nuggets, however, were suddenly an endless supply. In Ceará, Brazil, a security camera filmed one of the most ironic moments imaginable. Two thieves robbed a store and ran outside. In the rush, one of them dropped a wad of stolen cash. Seconds later, a bystander noticed the bills, picked them up, and, being the good citizen he was, handed the money right back to the thief, even patting him on the back like a buddy. The robber hopped on a motorcycle and sped away, richer thanks to unintended generosity. The man didn't know he'd just helped a criminal, but the footage left everyone asking, does that make him an accidental accomplice? Either way, it's pure comedy. If anyone ever asks you what Brazil is like, show them this clip. A kid named Joao Lucas rides his bike down the street with his dog Mel riding on the back. Not only is Mel chilling comfortably on the bike, she's also wearing sunglasses and hugging Joao by the waist. When he pops a wheelie, she holds on like a pro. The internet went wild. Dogs chasing cars? That's old news. This duo proved the future is dogs riding bikes in style. Imagine waking up, checking your bank app, and seeing over $200 million deposited into your account by mistake. That's what happened to a man in Pernambuco, Brazil. While most people would already be dreaming of yachts and Lamborghinis, Ivan, the account holder, walked straight to the bank to report the error. The money wasn't his, it was a glitch in the system. He returned every cent. The honesty shocked the internet, and while he didn't get to keep the fortune, at least he earned respect. Because honestly, who else could resist even a test drive on Amazon with that kind of balance? Street performers usually have talent. This guy, on the other hand, had enthusiasm. Armed with juggling clubs, he decided to try busking at a traffic light. There was just one problem. He clearly had never juggled in his life. Each time he tossed the clubs, chaos followed. Clubs dropping, cars honking, people laughing. Viewers joked that every failed toss killed a real circus performer inside. At least he tried, but let's be real, he probably didn't even make enough for a loaf of bread. Couples often get engaged in meaningful places, like the beach where they first met. That was the plan here. Romantic proposal, camera ready. The bride-to-be's sister volunteered to film the big moment, but just as he got down on one knee, the camera woman tripped. She stumbled, fumbled, and finally hit the ground in a spectacular fail, shaking the phone so much that the recording looked like a found footage horror film. The proposal still happened, but the video was ruined. Instead of a romantic keepsake, the family ended up with a viral blooper reel. Plenty of dads and kids wrestle for fun, but this father-son duo staged their battles with Hollywood-level choreography. Their living room became a set for flips, kicks, and fake knockouts, so convincing it looked like a martial arts movie. Meanwhile, mom sat in the background, unimpressed, probably used to it by now. Viewers loved it, suggesting the kid already had a future as a stunt double. YouTube's disclaimer note, no worries, no one was harmed, just two action stars in training. Sushi may be popular now in world, but not everyone is familiar with it. At one dinner, friends insisted a guy try eating with chopsticks. He took it seriously, maybe too seriously. He attempted to grab not just the food, but even his drink with the chopsticks. As his friends nearly choked with laughter, he realized it was a disaster waiting to happen. Thankfully, he stopped before shattering the glass, or the night would have cost way more than just embarrassment. In Cuiabá, Brazil, drivers stopped in awe as a family of capybaras waddled across the road, not randomly, but using the pedestrian crosswalk. The animals lined up, waited for traffic to halt, and crossed in an orderly line like model citizens. A biologist explained that mammals like capybaras have strong memory and can learn from experience. They likely realized cars stop at crosswalks and adopted the habit. Now even the babies follow the rule, proving capybaras might just have better road manners than some humans. This one is pure comedy. A local soccer coach waited until the end of the match to use his secret weapon, sending in a fresh player. The guy jogged onto the field, pumped up, ready to change the game. But seconds after stepping on, the referee blew the whistle. The game was over. His big debut lasted all of 3 steps.
Bora, Vitor, pelo amor de Deus, Vitor! Vem,
The poor player looked devastated, his enthusiasm crushed instantly, the coach laughing his head off. And finally, nothing sums up raw fan emotion like this. A group of Flamengo supporters were watching their team's game when frustration boiled over. One fan snapped and smashed the television they were all gathered around. The crowd went silent, shocked. They didn't know whether to be more upset with the team's performance or with the destroyed TV. Was it even his TV? Either way, nobody was watching the rest of the match. If this trend spreads, TV manufacturers are about to get a massive sales boost. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which of these blew your mind the most. Until next time.